Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Chat with the Muskrat. It is Tuesday night here on Muskrat Adventures. Thank you guys for joining. I'm happy to see you. For most of you, or a lot of you, it will be the second time you see me today. First time we were out on the Ohio River doing what we love to do most, and that's chasing the old catfish. And today I lucked out pretty good and brought home a nice bag of blues. The first couple fish we didn't really weigh. They were right around the, I'm having technical difficulties here with my light. Sorry, guys. First couple fish were probably around, 7-8 pound mark, somewhere around there. Caught one that was 21 pounds, one that was 28 pounds, and then one that was 38 pounds. So progressively got better throughout the day. Poor Skip Stewart was with me today. Sorry, guys. I don't know what is going on with my light stand. It's acting crazy. Crazy. Anyway, poor Skip Stewart couldn't get one to put in the boat today. It's just one of them days. I don't know. I've been on the other side of the boat when you're getting your butt kicked by your partner, and his side of the boat is just bringing in the fish. I'm actually editing a video right now on the day a couple weeks ago, where Zach and I has been out, and I think that video ended up with him like 14 or 15 to, I think maybe I had one or two fish, but I had a great time today. I enjoyed sharing it with you guys, but I see the Avid was first one in chat tonight, and Georgia Fisherman in there. It's like, yeah, it's been chat. Avid Georgia Fisherman, thank you for being here. Jason Lamb. Jim Catman Clark is in chat. Thanks, buddy. Let's get on down through here. JP3's in chat. These are all the early guys. So we had a little bit of conversation going on beforehand. Looks like we're talking about braid mono. That debate will never be settled. It doesn't matter how long it goes on. It will never end. Mike Irvin is in chat. Jason Ward, thank you for being here. Let's see. Tim Molina is in the house. Thank you, Tim Molina, for stopping by. Mad Catter Catfishing. Mad Catter, I think that's a new name for us. So thank you for joining. Thank you for checking us out. Mike Irvin's in the house. Creel Catfishing. Jeremy, my Cajun brother, stopping by, checking us out. Fishing with the squirrel. Boy, a lot of highs and hellos. I got to catch up. 2 Stans fishing. We got Stan the man in the house. I know he was with us today out on the water for a while. So was Lyle, Catfish Weekly. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully you got to go check out the lake, at least get your nostrils full of some fresh air out there by the water. Let's see. Mike Turner, 712. So Mike Turner and Stan Smith today, we all was talking about Barometer. And so once we get things fired up and rolling here, I'm actually going to share the screen here for a little bit with Mike and Stan. And just kind of going over what other people's experiences and thought processes are to Barometer as I continue my quest to try to figure it out. And I've been asking everybody through everyone else's live streams, through some personal research myself, and reaching out to some trustworthy folks that I know. So I'm continuing that knowledge to try to understand what the Barometer does, it doesn't do, and whatnot. So continue on with that right there. Zach Murray's in the house. That's my brother there. Well, Zach, thanks for stopping in. Mike Lewis, Team Whisker Tickler in the house. Buckeye Catfishing. So there's Jim. And well, it looks like mine stopped there for a second. So I just want to make sure I get everybody caught up. And 2 Old Vets is in the house. That's a newer channel there. I've actually tried to get some of his footage in and checked it out today. Shameless Fishing, Ricky's Creation, who also was on the live stream today. LG Bass, Mr. T-Bone 39. Boy, they are just piling in quick. I'm trying to keep up. Skin and Scales, Norm's in the house. And get hooked on D fishing. D's in the house. That's right. All right. Papaw Ed. Boy, they just keep coming in. So as we were saying, I actually got a lot of comments. I did make a thank you for being here, bro. We caught today and got that up there, and I got a lot of comments on the pictures. Got a lot of comment messages sent to me today about what we were doing, how we were able to find, locate, target, and then catch the quality of fish that we were catching today. And I won't pretend to be a pro. I'm not. I won't pretend to be anything. You know, a little bit of luck was there on the boat today, but we did have a strategy. With the river being up the way it was, I was looking for slower water, and we were also looking for an area that we could be clear of debris, anything coming down the river. This bank that we were on today did just both of that. It usually protects us from the wind. It also protects us from debris because there's a lot of barge traffic and industry directly upriver from us that deters all of the debris and whatnot out and around us. It also helps create a current seam. There's also some warm water coming in upriver from us that help with the water temperature. And then in a nutshell, the bait was up in the area that we were fishing. Those of you guys that were there today kind of saw the seagulls that were in the area pretty much the entire day, which is always a great indicator of whether you got bait in the area, but also side scan on those Garmin units that we're running. Pretty much told on the fish that we knew that they were there. So from there, what we did was target structure points like this. So typically, starting out from a blank slate in a situation like that, we'll start on the downriver side and come up through there and mark any structure, anything that we feel is going to hold fish. Obviously, if we mark fish, we're going to target those individual, but marking all the structure that we want to fish or we feel is going to hold fish all the way up through there. And then once we get to the top, we typically just bound down, which is what we did today. We connected the dots. We got all of our waypoints set down through there. We started at the top and 20-30 minutes and we dropped back. Now we did fish sometimes a little bit longer today, 45 minutes or so, depending on what we felt was worthy, or if we got caught up in chat and I just lost track of time, which happened a couple of times. But in a nutshell, that's what it came down to today. We looked for water that was a little bit slower than the raging water that we had. He's lagging. So hopefully, let me see if I can. Jim always keeps me on my toes. He lets me know right away when something's going on. So if I'm lagging still, somebody kind of holler at me. Otherwise, I'll probably go on for just a second. So anyway, we just kind of connect the dots. It's fine, Roger. We'll live with it. Let me see if I can fix anything here. No. Outside with the Hayes Fin Seeker TV. Oh, everybody's Peace City, Smitty. That's always just fun to say. I don't care who you are. That's just fun. But I do have somebody hanging out in the waiting room here. And we wanted to talk a little bit about Barometer. And so welcome Stan Smith to the stream. Stan, what's up, my buddy?
Hello, hello. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I had a pretty good day, I won't lie.
I tell you what, that's a good stringer any day of the week.
Yeah.
You catch the multiple above 20, hey. And especially on a live, a lot of people said any fish on a live, that's a good live. So cannot take that away. And, first, if I could just take 1 second, I want to thank everybody.
I was through. You're good.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it there?
Yeah, I hear you and see you. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, the lag before it was just every once in a while, it would just kind of freeze up, and then it
Yeah.
would come back. So.
No, you're good now.
All right, we're good now. Well, I just want to thank everybody. Sunday was just an amazing day. Same thing. We put a 30 and a 38 and some other fish up there. We went from 290 sub family members, anchors, whatever the whole thing you're supposed to say now. We went from 290 to 348, I think it was, by the end of the live stream. 58 or something like that in one day. And we've gotten even more since then. 1,700 views. That live has been viewed 1,700 times since Sunday for a 200, 300 sub channel. Just
Yeah.
we had a local sub that just subbed to us. Actually, got in a boat, came to the river, drove up the river to wave to us.
No kidding. That's awesome, man.
Went back down and was searching the river. We did a little, he was giving us a roving river report, which was just awesome. I've had a bunch of other local that are saying, I had one join today that said that she was fishing in the background of one of the videos and she found us on YouTube. So to start being recognized locally, just like, but mind blown, you know what I mean? It's just,
That's
but
awesome, man.
The support and same thing that everybody says. Just this, our community is just unbelievable.
Buddy, you deserve it just as good or more than anyone. Your support for my channel and several other channels has been outstanding. So it's awesome to see it come full circle for you, brother. You deserve it. Enjoy it, embrace it, and just
and that was never why I started it. Just because everybody's having so much fun, and I appreciated being able to go fishing with everybody when I was just on the couch. And after a while, it's like, damn it, I can do that. I got to get going. I can do this. I can do this. Everybody else is having too much fun, and I just wanted to go out there and just do some fishing with my family and put with my son and have some videos of my son and my granddaughter up on there, even if it was just for us. It wasn't and a few of my friends that maybe wanted from here that wanted to go on and see that, yeah, I actually do catch fish. And that was what it was supposed to be. And then it just kind of, week after week, it was just more people watching and more people watching and more people watching. So it's just there's Mike Turner. But that's what it's supposed to be, and it's just been unbelievable. But I just wanted to take that minute because I've been wanting to say that a lot. I've been wanting to thank everybody for that support, and what better place to do it than here?
Well, I appreciate it, man, and I think you know by now how I feel about you and how much I appreciate your support and just how much I think the catfish community is just second to none. It amazes me all the time. Mark, Catfish and Crappies in the house. Man, there's a whole bunch of people in here. We got 50 people hanging out with us right now. But hey, Stan, to get back on track, we wanted to talk a little bit about Barometer because we kind of started this conversation earlier today, and I'm interested to hear your take on it, and being primarily on the bank, just how much of it affects you, and how important it is to you, if at any.
Well, Barometer is just another one of those things that there's you even said it today. There's no wrong time to go fishing. You ain't going to catch anything from inside your house. You're not catching anything from the fish. So if you can go, the hell with the barometric pressure, the hell with the whatever, go.
Yes.
That's your only chance to catch it. But so it's one of those tools to view things. Now, in my opinion, and what I've noticed is just like anything else, when you're having change, whether it's good or bad, the change is it's gonna make things happen. So whether the barometer is dropping or rising, it's a change. It's going to cause changes in the water. It's going to change, the way that it affects the smaller organisms first. So that's why the feed starts happening, because the smaller organisms start moving around. They start getting affected first. Then the bigger ones, obviously, they see the smaller ones start feeding and doing things. That's when they do it. And, the way I look at it is like with a falling barometer, the fish can sense that that's coming. It's just like some people can feel it in your joints or whatnot. You can feel that that's coming. And the weather forecast is saying that the tornado's coming. Well, are you going to wait for the tornado to come to board up your house and that stuff? No, you're gonna do that as it's changing before it happens. So the fish are the same way. They know something's coming. They know something's happening. As that starts changing, that they start feeding. They know they're not going to feed for a couple days. The smaller organisms start moving around. The minnows start feeding, and the bigger fish turn on when that happens.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was looking at with In Fisherman put out a great article describing about it. And back in the day, that was it. You had Field and Stream Outdoor Life, In Fisherman, and
that was me.
And the Saturday morning fishing shows, and that was it.
Yep.
And so that's how you tried to learn things. But when the pressure starts dropping, like I said, the smaller organisms are affected first. So the silt and stuff on the bottom starts lifting up off the bottom. And again, that starts happening. From there, they're the first ones affected. From there, then you got the minnows that starts happening. All the bait fish, they start feeding, which just keeps going up the line. The whole food chain effect.
And that makes sense. I think a lot of times we overcomplicate things, but the fact of the matter is, just like you said, you go when you can. I know Zach's in here in chat, and anytime this conversation starts about barometer, about pressure, about rising water, water on the rise, supposed to cause the fish to bite, water falling. Zach tells me this story, and he has a picture worth 1,000 words to back it up. And I don't remember the holiday. I thought he said it was maybe Thanksgiving or maybe the Eve or something like that. Doesn't matter. Everything was wrong. The barometer was wrong. The water conditions were wrong. The temperature was wrong. Everything was wrong. Everything goes efficient. And Zach had a stellar day. I mean, just caught a ton of fish. And so I like to hear these different ideas and theories and research that's been done and things. But in a nutshell, it's go fishing. you never know until you throw.
And just like you were saying, though, that there's so many things. Barometric pressure is one of them. You've got water temperature. You've got the clarity of the water, and again, other things affect other things. So yeah, the barometric pressure may be wrong, but there may be other things where the water temperature is coming up or different things like that kind of take over for that. So if you look at each individual thing, you go nuts. Moon phase. I mean, there's so much. There's so much that there's studied on everything, and I think it's the overall picture of it's everything combined. And when different conditions, you fish different places. That's just that's it in a nutshell, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen Mike commented on there too. He said he couldn't have said it better himself. But I thought Mike had a different take on things at one point.
Yeah, I was kind of the odd opinion at the time, I thought.
Yeah, that's why I picked because I like the fact that difference of opinion is what it takes to go ahead.
Yeah, but I was going to say, if you look up a chart if you look up barometric pressure, for the most part, it'll say better fishing during the higher pressure.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you can see little. They have color charts and whatnot, but from like 29, just under 30, up to like 30 point whatever which is up into the higher pressure side, is when they say technically that's your better fishing. And technically what they say is that dropping pressure the bite is on. But once it gets down there, so it's like the storm is approaching. Everything's crazy. Everything's going on. Once it gets there, then it kind of once that pressure stops dropping and it drops low, then it kind of cools off for a little bit. It's like that's why when you get that cold front that's been in and you have a lockjaw for a couple days,
right?
Well, they fed like crazy before the cold front got there. Then that cold front hit, so now it's kind of really changed everything. And
Right.
it takes a few days for them to get equalized back out to that change in pressure. And to me, the worst fishing is once that one with the high pressure, when it's been that high pressure and it's just those clear blue, nothing's happening, your water's not moving, to me, that's the whole, if you look at everything, it's that change. It's when things are changing is like tides. For those of us that fish in tidal waters, you don't want to fish slack tide or high tide, because it's just slack. It's just slack. You either got a lot of water in or no water in, but it's not moving. Once that tide starts going out or coming in, the water's moving, the bait starts picking up, the bait starts moving around again, the whole thing, bait starts moving. It's the cycle all the time.
And that's the thing, it's when you're hunting, it's just bait. I mean, and it comes down to it. You find the bait, you find the fish. I mean, the fish got to eat. Now, giant fish, they say may not need to eat every single day. Some of these big fish may only eat once every third day. But how much do they eat on that third day? And which day is it?
Yeah.
Well,
let's see. If we had that clock, man, we could be selling, we could make some money.
Yeah. Hang on a second here. I got a message here.
All right. I see that the Hayes asked the question. Do you think that catfish react the same as crappie during that time? It's different for different fish species, and a lot of it has to do with the size and the what they actually eat and their predatory nature, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Smaller fish are affected. The smaller the fish or the organism is, the more it's affected by it. The bigger, they're more able to deal with smaller pressure changes. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people don't know that there is actually, and if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Every day there's two pressure changes that happen every day. They're smaller, but it happens twice a day, just like the tide. Just like I said, everything is cycles. You got your 10 and 10. So by 10 o'clock in the morning, from 4 to 10, think about it. That's your morning bite. The earth it's starting to heat up. The water's starting to heat up and stuff, and that's changing your pressure. So while that pressure is changing, that's when the fish are feeding. Your early morning bite, 4 to 10. It gets stabilized by about 10 o'clock in the morning. Then you get that afternoon lull. Well, then it picks up again at 4 in the afternoon to 10 at night, when that's when your pressure's changing again at night. It happens every day. It's just from the temperature change of the earth from the sun. And that's your evening bite. Now, is there things that affect that? Yeah, you can go, like you said, you found the hot water discharges, or in the summertime, you fish cold springs, or you look for streams coming in, colder water streams. So there's always those fish are going to eat, just like we're going to eat. So other days we're going to eat more. We walk into a buffet.
It's on.
But
Chad, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I'm horrible about mentioning that kind of stuff. It does help out. We're not monetized yet on the Muskrat Adventures. We're getting there. I was surprised. Today I have 585 subscribers. I have jumped up quite a bit. Oh my goodness. Jumped up quite a bit here in the last week or two. And man, I am thrilled. I am floored. But we're not monetized yet. And, PayPal likes to take their fair share of things whenever you do a super chat. So I do have in there in my links somewhere my PayPal account, and if anybody ever feels the urge to donate to the channel to help me out, stay on the water, and you know, the boats, the boat and the truck ain't cheap to get out there. Even when you're bait fishing, you got to drive out there. You got to buy bait. You got to get. Look at this. I don't know what she did or what she wants, but my wife just brought me in homemade chocolate chip cookies. She just had me a plate of cookies. I don't know what she's kissing up to me for. I'm the one that lost the rod and reel today in the river.
Well, Roger, on that point, since you brought it up, I wasn't going to bring it up. I want to thank you for you making that sacrifice for all of us on our behalf, so that we can all have a little better fishing, and we can have a little better luck. I thank you for making that sacrifice for all of us today. We really all appreciate that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When that's right, Fishing Magician. All donations go back into the channel. Yeah, I'm never gonna take I'm never gonna take anything that comes from the channel and go out to Red Lobster and eat with it. I love to fish. If you guys ain't figured that out yet, I love to fish, and I love putting content together for you. I love going live. I just love doing it. It does cost money, but I'll never ask and pressure anybody that ever feels like it links out there. But I'll leave that alone. That's enough on that.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say one thing on that, though. I didn't know how much it does add up until I started doing it. Everybody thinks, oh, you're going to go fishing anyhow. Yeah, but you weren't going to have to get 5 battery banks and all this bait to make sure that you catch things, and you weren't going to have to do this or drive to here or go out 3 days with the net to try to catch bait for the fish, and you weren't have to get this camera angle and these holders and the tripods and the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
I got a whole list in my Amazon shopping cart that new holders for the phone on the boat, GoPro mounts. It goes on, but you're right, it adds up. So I appreciate you guys. Chad, thank you for that. There are actually a couple folks in chat tonight that have already donated. I didn't even know it, honestly. The link was out there a long time ago, and I didn't even know it, and I happened to check it, and I was surprised. I was like, "Hey, people actually donated." So thank you to the folks that have already, and I don't want to talk about it anymore because I don't want to make it.
No.
That's not what this show's about. But it was bad enough dropping the rod and reel in the water today, and so I thought that it was $150 reel, and Skip Stewart was quick enough to jump on the internet and say, "Hey, Roger, do you know that reel cost $219?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I lost a $219 reel. It was a Penn Fathom 2 line counter, and then a big Cat Fever medium heavy rod, all rigged up, a brand new slime line, and the catch and rig today. So if you guys didn't catch the live today, you didn't see the rig that caught them all. All fish were caught on one rod and one reel today. I don't know why. 2 old vets said prices have gone way up. Yeah, and that may be we need to take that magnet down there. I don't know. It's about 25, 26 feet deep right there. But Michael Murillo says, I can send you a Zebco 33. I will wear that thing out. I'll wear that thing out. But
and can't you just count on a friend like that to make you feel just that much better at that exact point?
He is only here for the ice cream. Oh, wait, no. That's he just confirmed. Big magnet. Chad's got a great big old magnet, so I have a 100-foot rope attached to it. There you go. So I will Stan, we're going to keep you in here. We're going to keep talking. But if
Okay,
anybody else
okay.
wants to jump in, I'm going to throw the link out here in case anybody else wants to jump in. Does anybody else has any, oops, sorry guys, my finger's in the way. I'm trying to get this. If anybody else wants to jump in and talk about your experiences or your thoughts and processes on the barometer, or well, anything really, we're just talking catfishing. Oh man, Derek says his motor is down. Ugh. Well, Derek,
no.
I've invited you, I don't know how many times to come down to Fish Ohio with me, and you keep putting me off. So now that your boat's down, you're going to run out of excuses.
You're gonna have to go target those big blues with you.
Yep, that's that time of year. Oh, Tim Molina's on it. He says, somebody say ice cream. You scream, we all scream for ice cream. Too bad the reels all stainless and aluminum, says Papaw Ed. Boy, man, he just shot that down quick. Ohio Cat Pictures, my motor's down too. Man, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I've had nothing but boat problems, engine problems this year. It's been a rough year for me. I'm still kind of battling it out, but we're running. We're running for now. I'm getting ready to order a fuel pump that should help me out. Oh yeah.
See, y'all making that bank look better and better, aren't you?
Yeah. All right, we got somebody else in the waiting room here. Let's bring him on in. Creel Catfishing. What's up, buddy?
Man,
Hey.
we got two of the best people doing a live. So I said, you know what? I got to get in on this. You know, I can't help myself.
Well, I don't know who they are. Let me know so I can get it.
They're right. They're right there. They're right.
Come on now. You're gonna make me blush. You're gonna make me blush.
Look, hey, Stan, look. Stan, the numbers speak for themselves, buddy. You've been killing it. You've been absolutely killing it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I had a question here.
Go ahead.
I just seen a question from Kevin Wallace here. I want to make sure I get anybody if they come through. It says 56 degree water, 70 degrees today, caught shad in 4 foot of water. Would you fish shallow? For 56 degree water temperature, it really all depends. The shad are moving up in 4 foot of water. Are we talking river, lake? You know, are we talking? I'm not sure exactly where you fish. Are we talking tidal waters? Or are we talking flooded waters? There's a lot to that question.
I would be looking for the closest ledge to that shallow water, though.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You follow the bait, and you keep it close to deeper water.
Yep. If there's a ledge leading up to that 4 foot, I'd have bait. I have one in the 4 foot and everywhere in between down to the bottom of that ledge. I guarantee you.
Boom, there goes. That's why he's the bus driver.
They're there somewhere.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. And anchoring in that shallow water, I would anchor in the shallow water and throw out to the deep and let that current sweep your bait up against that ledge. If you're out in the deep and you throw to the shallow, your bait come off that ledge, and you don't know where your bait's going to be. Being on the shallow and throwing out deep, it's going to sweep it back, and you're going to be at the base of that ledge somewhere.
Yep.
So actually,
same thing for bank.
Manning did a great video. What?
I was just going to say, same thing from the bank. Stagger out your poles from the bank. You have a couple in.
Yep.
You put a direct line from shallow, making a little deeper until you get it out in the channel, and then let the fish tell you where they're at.
Kevin Wallace says he's at a lake, no current. So same rules will apply. Those fish are going to be nearby. All right. Now they're probably going to be staging on the ledge or in a hole close to that shallow water, and they may move day and night. During the daytime, they're going to be in that deeper water holding up, and during the nighttime, typically they'll move up and run them flats. Not to say that you can't catch them in the daytime on them flats, because you can, especially if you get a warm day, a sunny day. That water temperature warms up just a hair. It don't take much. That shad's there for
Yeah,
a reason, and then blues.
I think that's what he
for
was.
a reason as well.
I think that's what he was saying. He said it was like water temperature 50 something, and normally in the 50s, but it was like a 70-degree day.
Yeah, that shallow water is going to warm up so much.
Absolutely.
And
hey,
even better.
House. Thank you, Becca.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm sorry.
See, even better if you, and that's why I love downscan for stuff like this. If you do have a ledge nearby and there happens to be an old fallen tree, logs, rocks at the bottom of that ledge next to where that bait. Oh, yeah. That is money.
And that goes back to that Catfish Weekly seminar that what was his name? Ted. I can never tell you.
Ted,
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Look for those threes, structures in threes. Well, there you go.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I want to pause for a second. We got 65 people in chat, man. Thank you guys. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please take the time to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm having a heck of a day. I'm on cloud 9 today.
And in fact,
Ohio Catfish Chasers, Ted Ellenbecker, he is the man.
Yeah. In fact, Roger, if you remember, if you read the last comment that I put in your live feed this afternoon before I had to go back to work, I told you, I said, Roger, catch me a hog. And you know what?
Me a hog.
You caught me a hog. See, I like when people do what I tell them to do.
I tried to make you proud, Jeremy.
You delivered, man. I love it. It's just, it's a shame I didn't get to see it live, but I had to go to work. I had to do something, you know. Dang.
I don't know what the timestamp on the video, but it is in there. You can see it.
I will be looking. I promise.
So I caught three fish today over 20 on live stream. So
ain't nothing wrong with
21, 28, and a 38. So
yeah. I
was close, man. My PB is only 43 pounds. When that turd was tugging, man, my drag was just a ripping. I thought, I think I got him. I think I got my PB.
Well, ask tournament fishing out there. Who wouldn't take a 5-fish, 102-pound stringer every day?
That's right.
Yeah, it was a good day. And here's a crazy thing. Those of you guys who were there heard it and saw it, but we had 12 rods starting out. Of course, I lost one.
Yeah, I know.
We had 11 rods out there, and every fish came on the same rod. It didn't matter what position I put it in. Didn't matter where I casted it. No matter if we moved closer to the bank, farther from the bank. That muddy river blue cat rod with the Lew's laser 60 or laser XL was the one that caught all the fish today.
I've had that happen too.
I
can't explain it, but I've had it happen. It's cutting in and out.
Yeah, I think we're good. It just happens on
in and out too.
Okay, all right, now you're back.
You're back. Yeah, you go to that the whole Rodstron thing that happens every now and then.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
We
I don't
have
know.
Great internet service.
Yeah, my internet here is crappy. I tell you what, I normally I'm on my. I have to get off my Wi-Fi and use my data.
Me too.
To keep it running.
Me too. That's how I do mine. I have satellite internet. That's all that needs to be said. It's terrible.
Well, I called Verizon. Verizon's usually pretty good. We were having a problem with our Wi-Fi.
That's available to me on satellite internet.
We had a regular Wi-Fi from Verizon, you know, with the modem downstairs and everything, and they tried to talk to me like we had a satellite. They said, "Well, it might be the planes going overhead. Do you live by an air? We don't live. You know, we get an occasional whatever, but
yeah."
They tried to blame it on the airplanes.
Country Boy Catfishing says, was that the only double hook rig that was catching all the fish? So I don't have one in here with me, but I was using I wouldn't call it a Kentucky rig. There's this kind of modified rig today. It's a combination of a bunch of different things I've seen, and I was tying rigs and I tried it. So it was a hook. It had a 3-inch float on it that I cut in half because I was fishing with Catfish Code, which I had on a few weeks ago. And it creates a little more vibration, a little more action than just a regular peg float hole. And I thought, okay, put a couple rattles on it, ran it up, but my leader line that I cut was a little long. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put a loop in this like a Kentucky rig.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add a second hook. This time of year, I'm using small bait. If I'm going to use small bait, let's put twice as much out because I still want that scent.
Okay.
So that's what it turned out to be. It was just a line that came down. I had a hook set up like a Kentucky rig. It has, 3-4 inch loop on it. Came down. I had a couple rattles. I had my float. I always run the hose on the end of my rigs to keep anything from sliding. So here's one that, I don't have set up that way. And here's one I do have set up that way. I got a lot of stuff laying here. So here's one I don't have set up that way, right? So here's a, hook, floats, rattles, and all that stuff, right? One of my fears is when that fish grabs a hold of this rig and you get it in his mouth and you go to pull to set that hook. This hook is only this wide.
Yeah.
That's it. And this float is this wide. And there for a second, if he gets a hold of this float when he's going for this hook, there's a chance that comes out. I don't like that.
Okay.
So I run these, this is just air tubing for aquariums. I have a big aquarium at home. So I run a piece of this air tubing before my rattles and floats so that when he goes to grab this hook, he's going to get the hook. And if he shuts his mouth, there ain't a whole lot of difference between that rubber hose there and this hook. That is just a theory. I can't prove that. I don't know that really works or don't work, but it makes sense to me because what I found myself doing, I was putting bobber stops and running beads and stuff up on to stop my floats from going clear down to my hook. That hose just prevents all that. Nothing's going to slide down there.
Yeah, and it ain't that big around, and the fish aren't going to notice it or feel it, and it will slip through. That's an awesome idea.
Mm-hmm.
My Demon Dragons is what started it. My Demon Dragons would keep sliding down. I know a lot of people put rubber band or electrical tape on them or whatever, but my Demon Dragons would eventually sometimes slide down to my hook, and I was afraid that they would get the hook. They would hit the Demon Dragon, which they do. They hit the Demon Dragons and not get the hook. And I've been playing with it. I don't know what happened. Today, I had that same rig I used today on 4 rods of the 6 I was using, but only one rod was getting it. Only one rod was getting hit. I don't know. The leaders were the same length and everything.
The same cut bobber and rattles and same bait.
Everything was the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
I sat down, tied up all those rigs, and I put them on 4 of the 6 rods I was using today. And for whatever reason, they was only hitting that one blue cat rod.
Let me ask you something, Roger. Were you getting bites on the others, like little small bites, and hooking up on that one, or that was the only one getting bit?
That was every fish, every bite we got today came to the boat.
Yeah. No dink taps, no nothing. See,
no.
So that happened. I've had like what seemed like dink taps on some other rods, but then it'll be one rod that finally goes down. And my theory with that was I run Silver Cat Magnums, the heavies, and I run the Muddy River rod. That Muddy River rod has a more sensitive tip, and it's like they would play with those Magnums, but they would finally take down that Muddy River rod. But you weren't even getting bit on anything else.
Wasn't getting bit. Somebody asked me to show the rigs again. I'm not sure which rig they were asking for. This is one style here. So for me, I run a swivel. I always like to run a chain swivel. I'm in current. I'm in a lot, not a lot of current, but I'm in current beads. Float. And this particular rig, I run 2 floats just because I was looking for, higher in the water column. And these, like I said, these sit right down on top of my hook. And that there's a Tackling Cat's 9/0 wide hook. That's my favorite hook there is. I want to try some Diachis, but man, these Tackling Cat hooks, to to me, they're the real deal. The other version of this, of course, this one doesn't have a float on it, which these are some of the ones I'm tying right now for winter. Keep my bait closer to the bottom. I still do like vibration and noise, but you know, I run 4 to 6 inch piece of PVC or air tubing, nothing fancy. I slide it down. I actually slide it over the eye of the hook. It kind of protects my knot and protects everything there. Just, I don't know why. It just,
hey, if it works,
it fits. So I stick it on there.
Yeah.
And it's just something that, you know, I think I've seen somebody do it before, but I wasn't sure why. And I did it, and this is why I do it. So.
Yeah, see, the rig I run is extremely similar to what you do with that tubing. The only difference is instead of putting that piece of tubing, which is cheaper, I put a second swivel about the same distance as you have your tubing. So I have about a 15-inch piece of leader. I tie another swivel. Then above that is my 2 Versa rattles, and then I'll tie a 4 or 5 inch piece of leader with my hook. That's what for me. That's what keeps my Versa rattles off my hook is that extra swivel.
Yep.
But it's 4 knots though. You know, you gotta.
And that's what I was doing before. I was trying. I was putting bobber stops. You know, tying strings on. Those never really held. After a while, you slinging that stuff around, they don't end up hanging tight. And then you know, I was trying all these other things, and I saw somebody else do it, and for some reason I think it was Hagen Grubbs, but I don't remember seeing him do it. I don't remember him doing it. I don't remember seeing it on any of his rigs lately. I don't know if it's something he was trying or if I'm wrong.
His bumping rig is like that. That's how I got the idea, because that's
his
how
bumping rig.
Bumping rig, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well,
that's
I
what
knew I saw. I'm going to guess I took it from Hagen then.
Yep. I saw the same.
I did see it somewhere else. But I didn't know why they did it. Hagen did a video on that rig, Papo Ed. All right.
Okay. You go.
Well, I won't take credit for it. Hagen did it first. You know, I mean, because like I said, I saw it somewhere, and I liked it. You know, and that's the cool thing about doing this stuff, man. It's not I did it first or it was my idea. It's, man, we could get out here and we could share this stuff with each other, and you know, some ideas are going to work, some ideas aren't going to work. You know, everyone's waters and conditions are different.
Yep.
Take what you like and run with it, play with it, have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then you look at Fishing Magician and Has Life and them up in the Potomac, and you got Elston up there with Chunky Cats. Fishing Magician, them use pretty simple Carolina rig, no floats, no nothing.
Yeah.
And landing 60s and 50s, and you know, Elston, same thing. He's got his the Demon Dragons and the whatnot. So, you know, it all breaks down to try different things. What works best for you is going to work best for you.
Yep.
Oh, I got a buddy hardcore says, man, you guys are nuts. You don't need all that crap. I'm sitting here. I got rigs tied up with floats and bobbers and swivels. And, you know, this is what I do. I sit here and tie up rigs, bumping rigs, regular rigs, floating rigs. You know, I'm just sitting there.
And I got to say, I'm lucky. I'm lucky in that, because we wouldn't be where we're at. We're 2 stands fishing for a reason, because my son does. I wouldn't be able to even go out without him. So he does a lot of the tying the rigs and the setting up the equipment and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I kind of just.
That's what makes makes you guys' shows so enjoyable, is the teamwork. You know, the companionship. I would give anything for my dad to come join me on the boat and go fishing. It's not that he's not with us. It's just that's not what he's into.
Yeah,
it's just not something he would enjoy. He also has a lot of health issues, back problems and things like that. He wouldn't enjoy himself after an hour or two.
Yeah,
I'm not going back in after an hour or two.
Yeah, well, that's you have to be, you know, you have to want it, and you have to want to be out there doing it. And I obviously do. We went out there fishing with Skins and Scales brought his boat up, and yeah, I was on the dark side. I was the bank fisherman out on the boat for a while there.
Yeah.
And we made a good friend, but we had a great day, and it was funny how you get people that kind of think the same. You can automatically just jump into like everybody knew what they were doing, and we all wanted the other person to catch the fish. That's another big thing. It was like no, you take it, and it kept getting past me, so I'm not going to put it down, you know. But we had just a blast out there on the boat.
Mike asked if we've noticed a difference between running rattles and not running rattles, whether it really makes a difference. And I'll give my 2 cents, and hopefully you guys can chime in too. Here's my 2 cents on the rattles. I feel that they do help. Do they call a fish in and make them attack? I don't think so. I don't know that. But here's what I do know. I do know that they make a noise. I do know that the fish can be curious. If I heard a tap, tap, tapping from my dining room, and after a while, I'm going to get sick of it, and I'm going to go check out what's in my dining room. All right. I get to my dining room, and these cookies, all right, are laying there, and I smell them cookies. All of a sudden, I don't give a shit what I went to that dining room for. I'm going to grab one of these cookies.
Yep.
And that's kind of my mentality when it comes to the rattles. I don't know that they actually call the fish in and they're just there to crush that rattle and they just want to eat that bait. But I do feel like they most likely will get their attention, and then your bait will do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel?
Well, I just saw a question out there too, and somebody brought up about bass fishing, and I think some of the other species are a little bit more. They can be either, a lot of other species are more line shy, say than like catfish, are more triggered by faster movement, slower movement, finesse jigs, non-finesse jigs. I think with catfish, it's a little bit more simplified than that. If they're hungry, they're going to eat. Sometimes you got to do that little extra, maybe a little rattle that makes them want to say, hey, it draws their attention to it where they might not have been attention. You might not have drawn their attention before. I don't think it could ever hurt to have them on. And I think the times when that need that little bit of extra, hey, oh, the cookies are over there kind of thing. Sometimes they may not see the cookies unless that little rattle goes off. And then, damn, oh, that's where the cookie is, and smash. So, I think that I don't think it could ever hurt. And I think the times, if you're fishing them all the time, when the times where you need that little bit of extra attention, I think it helps there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a great point by two old vets. An injured fish vibrates in the water and also help replicate that. And so, I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. The lateral lines in these catfish, they can pick up vibration and movement for a long ways away.
I've been using Versa rattles for, right at a year. I've been using them for longer than I've been filming for YouTube. And I'm the type of person, I don't like having all of the exact same thing. I don't. Something always has to be different. So I have a habit lately of, for the past year, I'll run 2 regular Carolina rigs. Then I might run 2 or 3 with the rattles on. Might have all the same bait. They may not. It just depends. I can tell you this. I can tell you 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, rattles don't hurt anything. I know that because in all the times we've caught fish, never once have I caught fish on a regular Carolina rig and not the rattle rig. That has never happened to me, not one time. If we catch 2 fish, it's probably going to be 1 and 1. Now, I've had days where I only caught on the rattle rigs and not the Carolina rigs. That has happened to me a few times. I can't tell you which one is out fishing the other. I don't keep track of all of that tight. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I've never once caught on a Carolina rig and not the rattle rig. So it doesn't hurt a thing. And if it doesn't hurt, they're going on because it might help.
Yep. I feel the same way. Every advantage I can put in my arsenal, every odd that I could put in my favor, I'm taking.
Now I'll say this too, on the little bit of bumping that we've done when two of us are side by side. I'll have one bumping rig with them and one bumping rig without them. It'll outfish that one without them 2-1.
I was wondering what your experience was, because I got a demon dragon. When I'm bumping, there's a demon dragon on there.
Yeah.
Every time.
One thing I do want to add, though, is I think that if you're fishing, we all fish rivers.
Mm-hmm.
I think fishing lakes and where there's not as much movement, it's not going to make much of a difference, because unless you're doing live bait, it's just not going to make a noise, not going to do anything. So,
well, if you're dragging or drifting,
yes.
Well, maybe drifting. You're gonna get some movement. But you're right. Nothing I love more than grabbing a big old pumpkin seed when I'm chasing big flatheads and hooking that bad boy on there with a big old demon dragon on there, and just setting that sucker out there and just letting it take away. This is a true story. My wife can back it up. We're fishing at night on a real shallow bend on the river. Marked a lot of structure, targeting flatheads. It was dark. I couldn't really see it. I chucked a demon dragon with a live bluegill on it over towards the bank. It hit the water. I could hear my demon dragon ticking. And I thought, what in the world? I grabbed the spotlight and I could see my demon dragon across the top of the water. I said, oh, wow, man, it is way too shallow over there. But then my brain hit, and we all do this. We imagine what's going to happen. He's going to smash it. Guys, I ain't joking. It was probably 5 minutes. I heard a big splash. And before my line ever moved, before anything ever happened, my mind was made up. He got it. And he got it. Now, it only turned out to be like a 10, 12-pound flathead. But he smashed that bluegill and took off like a freight train out of there. And I'm still convinced that bluegill sat over there and made so much noise with that demon dragon. He finally got somebody's attention.
He had to see what it was.
He had to see what it was.
He had to see.
And when he got there, he's like, "Oh man, give me one of them big old cookies." Right here.
Big old slimy cookie.
Yes, I think we started something tonight. We're going to be talking about cookies now from now on.
It always comes down to food.
It does, some one way or another, doesn't it?
Somebody's got to start it. And you know what? Earlier, y'all were talking about barometer readings, pressure, weather conditions, things like that. I'm convinced that, I don't know if it's Louisiana, I don't know if it's me, I think we're backwards around here, because on days that you look outside and you just think, I need to be fishing today, it's cloudy, you got weather coming in, the pressure's low, just everything inside of you says, I need to soak some baits. For some reason, we don't do good on those days. We don't. I've caught fish on those days, but not a lot. My best days have been the days where I shouldn't have been fishing. Bluebird skies, pressure's high and rising. Just all the conditions say you're not going to have a good day. And another thing that I really have thought about over the past year, I don't ever remember catching a fish over 40 pounds before 10 o'clock in the morning. I cannot remember a single one over 40 that we've caught. Yeah. All of our
you guys got stuff all messed up down there.
Well, I know I can tell you for certain none of us have ever caught anything over 50 before 12 o'clock. They always come at after about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's about the time we pick up and go. Those big fish we catch are always the last ones we catch. I have never caught a big fish at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's why I don't really stress about being there at daylight.
Yeah, well, this past Sunday, our 38 came at, I think the first one we caught was the 30, and that was at 7:30, and then the 38 came by before 8:30.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never could figure out why that is. Now, a lot of people I know that saltwater fish not far from me, they're telling me that the way our fish act are just like the way the saltwater fish act. So maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe because I'm so close to the Gulf that they're kind of following those patterns. I have yet to figure it out why, but I've just noticed we do not catch big fish early in the morning.
Catfish and Dream said something maybe because of below sea level.
We aren't below sea level. Well, the surface of the water is not below sea level, but we're not far from it. But that catfish in that 100-foot hole, yeah, he's below sea level,
right
where we are.
And then that affects the pressure, and it affects the visibility, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you never know.
Well, welcome to the stream, Betty and Brandon Cross. I just saw you guys pop in. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, take our fishing trip Sunday. Everything in the world told me that. In fact, I even told my wife when we left, I don't have high hopes for today. I really don't. We're gonna go out just to say we did because I'm gonna go, you know. But the one thing that piqued my hopes was when we got on the water and started running down the river. I saw a lot of pelicans on the water. When I started seeing all those pelicans in the middle of the river moving around, my hopes started picking up. That's because that tells me a lot. When I see birds moving around, that tells me more than pressure than everything else. That wildlife tells us if we're going to have a good day or not.
And Roger, that goes back to what we talked about before. Forget about all this crap. If you can go fishing, go fishing.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Because
Zach will tell you, go. It doesn't matter what all the signs say. Get out there.
Yeah.
And then fish don't have a manual. They don't.
No.
They don't always follow the script.
No, because if nothing else, if I can't catch anything, we'll make a scouting trip out of it. I may go scan and map places, and I'm gonna do something with my time, but I ain't gonna stay at the house. That ain't happening.
Yeah. Mapping is a huge part of our trips. I don't know how much everyone else spends, how much time. Now, obviously, if you're on the bank, we're not doing that, but how much time people spend in their boats actually scanning, mapping, dropping waypoints, and before we ever wet a line. I'll tell you, the way we fish, the guys I fished with, Zach and Skip, and those are the two most of the time, but others as well. We're there before daylight. We're out there before daylight. We're typically throwing cast nets in the dark all the way up until the break of dawn. As soon as the sun comes up, and then we are out after the fish, and we scan, from an hour or two of looking and targeting and putting a game plan together, and then we start to fish.
Yep.
Some guys can't handle that. They just want to go fish. Just stop the boat. We're not catching anything because we ain't got no bait in the water. But for me, an hour and a half scanning and mapping and looking, it's half the battle to me. You find the fish and then catch the fish. That's very rewarding.
Yeah. And you see, I take a little bit of a different approach. Now I'll do a whole bunch of scanning before a trip, but a lot of times what we'll do, like there's some days where maybe my wife and my little boy, they don't want to fish. They just want to go ride the boat. Well, that's my mapping trip. I'll burn 30 gallons of fuel and just do mapping, and I'll get a whole bunch of mapping done. I'm marking waypoints. I'm finding sunken barges, log jams, whatever I can find. And I've got that up here for next time when we do go fishing, I can go jump right to those spots that I mapped.
Right.
We do a lot, especially when the weather's really nice and people just want to come ride. Yeah, you're going to come ride with me, but we could be riding about 10 miles an hour while I'm going up and down that river like a lawnmower, like I'm cutting grass.
Yeah, you're watching your screen, you're filling in the dots.
That's right. And I've almost got my entire fishing grounds mapped. I've got a couple little blank spots I got to fill in, but I'm getting close.
And it's the same thing from the bank. You know, on days like that, you may take a couple poles and try a different. You may go down 30, 40 yards from where you normally would have went, and you try a couple out here.
Yep.
Or you start doing just some reeling in and feeling what the bottom is, and it's the same thing with the bank. You start doing some more exploring than you necessarily wouldn't have done on a day where you're catching fish. So yeah, it's the same thing.
You're making efficient use of your time.
Squirrel asked, do I use lights to draw and bait to throw my cast net? And I do. When we're out there before daylight, I've got my lights in the water. I've got neon lights or LED lights on the outside of my boat that also helps attract fish. Now I do have some green floating lights that I can throw in the water if I think I'm going to be there that long. But typically, my headlights, when I'm not up on plane, they shine down in the water a little bit in front of the boat, and that's usually just enough to go ahead and get the bait moving towards me. So yeah, I will deliberately leave my lights on in hopes of drawing fish close to the boat when I'm throwing that in the morning before daylight. Good question.
Yeah.
I saw Stan 3 had put something out there back a while ago. He worked with an older European guy that did a lot of I can't remember what the name of it is, but they had a tool that had it almost looked like it had a handle, long handle, wooden handle, and it had like a wooden scoop at the end. And they would plunk, plunk. They would just plump it on the top of the water like that. I think they used it a lot for like the the Wells catfish and different things like that. That same thing we were saying, that different just something to attract it, and then they put that big wad of night crawlers and whatnot down there. And I think a lot of that is some of what our version of that here in the States is the Versa rattles, the demon dragons, et cetera, et cetera. But I think it all goes along those same lines, just something to draw attention to it.
Yep.
Yeah, Zach put on there, use side imaging to find bait, which is a great tip. Zach and I will scan many of banks, creeks, and whatnot, inlets, until we find the bait. And even after we're done catching the bait, we're still scanning the banks looking for the bait, so we know where the fish are.
Yeah,
because they ain't gonna be too far away.
Well,
sorry for laughing. I see Zach H put out there the official name of that stick that makes the plunking noise is a plunking stick.
good thing.
Why make it complicated?
Hey, you know. Oh man. Yeah, that's another thing with fishing. Sometimes I think we get so caught up in everything that if we just remembered KISS, keep it simple, stupid. The biggest flathead I caught this year was on a rock, a swivel, a rock, and a hook.
That was awesome.
I love it.
That was awesome.
And I got to give my son credit because we were having we were trying, weren't getting nothing. God bless him, he kept trying to throw the cast net. Finally threw the cast net, got a fresh shad. Boom, he got that fresh gizzard shad. I changed over to that, put that fresh gizzard shad head on, where it still had that little flitter going and still had the fresh blood coming out, and put that on the hook with the rock as a sinker. 5 minutes, bam, 20-pound flathead. So sometimes
I have never seen someone get a shad out of a net, cut it, and bait a hook so fast. I swear that shad was still twitching when y'all casted that rod.
Oh, it was. I showed it to the thing. I'm like, look at that.
That shad was still
finally made it.
On you had a hook through its nose.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Skip Stewart made it in the house. Thanks, Skip. He was a heck of a captain today, and a net man and a cameraman. Boy, those are hard qualities to find.
Hello, Rebecca. Thank you.
Stan 3. Stan 3 said, what structure do you target most at night for bait? If you're talking about throwing a cast net, I stay away from structure when I'm throwing the cast net. If you're looking for bait, it depends. I'm usually going to look in whatever I think is going to be warmer water this time of year. So typically that's going to be creeks, marinas right now really seem to hold a lot of bait. we've got real high water here on the Ohio River. So most of our bait is moving up now that the creeks have stopped flowing. Now the bait's moving in, and they're filling up those creeks and filling up those marinas. And that's where we're finding and targeting our bait. And in most cases, you know, a couple throws and we're good for the day. On our way in tonight, I was actually running late getting here just because on the way out, we saw some bait. And I said, hey, I might go fishing tomorrow. Stop the boat. Stop the boat.
Gotta get it.
Got to get it. I got plenty of fresh shad for morning. Now I got home, and then the wife said, I don't know, I'm not feeling too good. We'll see what happens in the morning. So we'll see. I watched Skip catch all the fish one day. Hey, that's right. Zach says he watched Skip catch all the fish. I got a video I'm editing right now that turned out to be an hour long. If I don't cut it down, I got to cut it down. Where Zach catches 15 fish to my 1. Sometimes, you know, it's just not your side of the boat. It's just not happening.
And it's funny how that is, to where one time you go out, you can have all the fish come on one rod. I've had it happen a few times. You go back to the same spot, similar conditions, all this other stuff. Nope, completely the opposite. They're all over there now.
Yep.
It's real funny how that is.
Oh yeah, my wife done said. She said, "Hey, we go fishing tomorrow. I want that side of the boat that you were sitting on today."
Yep.
I want all those waypoints. I want all those waypoints sent back to us.
I asked my dad one time on a trip that I had brought him with me to go catfishing. I said, Dad, which rods you want to claim? He said, well, I'll tell you which ones I want after we catch the third fish. Okay. Because then whatever rod wasn't catching fish, guess which one I got? Yeah, I got that rod. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Robert Andrews asked, does the color of the rattle seem to make a difference? I'll be completely honest. I don't know if it really makes a difference or if it's just crazy coincidence, but I'm going to tell you, I like demon dragons. I really do. They're durable. They rattle. They do float. I like them. They're a little expensive, so I don't buy them very often. I stock up when I can. Most of the time I can't. But for whatever reason, the pink demon dragon, I don't know why, but the pink demon dragon and our boats catch fish 3-to-1 over every other color. I couldn't explain it. I know that underwater pink turns red. Red is obviously a target for a wounded fish. Don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, or if we're just crazy. But if you fish with Skip, he will have Pinky in the shad. That is his go-to rig is Pinky, which is the pink demon dragon, and shad. Pinky and the shad is going to be on one of his rigs every day. I'm out of pink demon dragons, so I don't have any right now, but I would get some.
Well, that's why you'll see
like said the same thing. Pink is the best in his boat. I don't understand why, but
that's why you'll see like a lot of walleye fishermen and whatnot will have a red marker and they'll put a red dot, and you could have a silver lure, whatever, without that little dot of red on there. You're not getting anything. Put a little red dot on there. It just red is a trigger color.
Paul Smith, that sounds absolutely amazing. We'll get in touch and we'll set something up. I know a lot of folks have a lot of questions about that, including myself, and would love to hear the progression that it's made over its announcement, a year ago. So thank you, Paula, for putting that out there. Thank you for being here, by the way. Paula's awesome.
Paula.
She's just one of those people. You talk about passion for fishing, passion for conservation. Just that girl's got fire inside of her. She's like a firecracker by herself anyway. But
well, that's why I love this. She was on the live this weekend out in the chat, and that's what I was trying to say. When you're doing a live, and you like I said, I have it easy. I pretty much got to work on the chat and talk with everybody. But when you get the chat like what we have, where there's awesome people that are talking about all these great subjects, and we were talking about, I brought up the that article that Paula wrote about the sinkers.
Yeah.
I have to have different sinkers right there to show up on screen. And she's out there and we're talking about things, and epic catfishing was in there. And you got that kind of, crowd in your chat when and you're catching fish behind you. I mean, the rest is simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
That is
no pressure now. We've got important people watching.
Yeah.
You're all important, man. When you guys jump in, I feel like, man, I gotta step up my game. I gotta.
Last time when we did that live, was it last week when I'd fished live for a while, a week before last? I don't even remember. It was towards the end of the show. And I remember I've got lines tangled up. I'm trying to fight with it. And I can hear my son behind me say, "Hey, who's Steve Douglas?"
Yeah.
The video caught it. I had 2 lines tangled with weights. I literally dropped everything on the deck of the boat. I said, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, somebody named Steve Douglas is watching." And I'm like, "Okay." Thank God we caught that 40-pounder live not long after that. I'm like, yes. Somebody's smiling on me.
Becca says, I agree on the color thing here. The redhead with the chartreuse tail jigs catch the heck out of crappie and sand bass as well. Yeah. I use them for trout up in Idaho on the Snake River. Fish love it.
As far as catfish go, now this is me in my area, backwards for everything. I find it a little hard to believe that the color of those rattles make a difference for us, for the catfish, because our water is so muddy. You can stick your hand in up to your wrist and not see the ends of your fingers. The water's that muddy all the time. I have a hard time believing that catfish can see that color 100 feet down. Maybe
light penetration only goes 30 feet anyway. I mean, 30 feet, there is no light penetration beyond 30 feet, regardless of water clarity.
Exactly.
As far as I know.
Of course, I've never bought pink Versa. So
what's that?
I've only ever owned pink Versa rattles. I've never bought any other color.
Right.
So I don't know.
Hey, that goes to another thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
No, I ain't ordering nothing.
Yeah. I like the pink. Now I have, a couple other favorites I like. I like the high fin blues, which is the replica of the shad.
Yeah.
It looks like a shad. I put shad behind it. Smells like a shad. Looks like a shad.
There you
go.
Yep.
So there are some out there that especially in shallow water, flatheads. I like to use the Slunger Cat Edition Demon Dragons and the Muddy River because they look like bluegill.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys listen to Ted Ellenbecker, I don't think he said it in this episode, but the last time he was on Catfish Weekly, he made a bold statement and said that the flathead catfish is actually more closely related to a largemouth bass than it is most of the catfish family.
The way it behaves.
The way its head is laid out, it has a huge underbite. It is made to attack from below like a largemouth bass. The positions of its eyes on his head. It is an ambush fish made to attack from below.
And the structure that it uses, yep.
Yep, the structure that it, in which, and he made that statement. And when he said that a large flathead catfish is actually more closely related to a largemouth bass than most of the other catfish family, I thought, you didn't just say that.
Comparing a flathead to a ditch pickle.
I know.
It's a little controversial, isn't it?
I feed him a ditch pickle if I get one.
Oh, well, there you go. LG Bass, there's your solution right there. You got to target flatheads, not blues. LG Blast, you got to switch on over to flatheads. That's
it. It's simple. Hey, I'll tell you right now, if you guys, I don't know if it was, I think it was a catfish conference before this. There was a booth down there selling huge, I'm talking 9-10 inch plastic crawls that were infused. He had some kind of scent or something infused in these scent and these big crawls that these guys were pitching up on the banks and catching big flatheads with artificial crawls. They were made to look like a crawfish, but they were like 8 to 9 inches long. They're huge.
Hey, around here, they love the real ones. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And those
LG Bass says I'm on it.
big.
LG Bass, right there's your specialty, brother. If you want to have a YouTube channel that just absolutely blows up, start catching flatheads on artificial baits.
I gotta learn to catch on real ones first.
I'd watch it channel. I guarantee I would.
They do that here. There's a spot up here in the James where it's in current, and they do that with like striper plastics. It looks, they usually use a white, like a big white paddle tail striper plastic, or a muskie. Same thing, like you said, they're just a big, like you would use for striper and muskie. Cast it up in the current, letting it coming down, and they're catching big flats on them. But it's up in the current, a little bit clearer water.
Yeah.
So.
In his latest video, Richard Jean caught one on a tiny fluke, about a 5-6 pound yellow cat. He caught one. He was trying to fish for sauger, however you. Sauger. Go figure.
Yep. Well, you never know what's going to come out of Richard Jean. He's a hoot.
You could pour a glass of water and he'll catch a fish out of it. Man.
Yeah, he is good.
And have a story.
That's a great statement. He says flathead are fun to catch, are fun but tough fish to catch on a consistent basis. And you're right. They are very they're very humbling fish. Yeah, they're very humbling fish. You can target them and chase them all you want, but they're not as predictable as, some of these other fish can be. And I'll be honest with you, I catch myself fishing for blues because I can feel like I can catch them easier. I do. I feel like it's easier for me to catch blues. I feel like they're a little more predictable in different weather patterns and different water scenarios. I feel like I can I seen Zach. I'm talking about woo. Woo. But I love flathead fishing. That's actually how I started fishing, was anchored up flathead fishing. Once I started chasing these blues and learning drifting, dragging, planer boards and things like that, I kind of took over there. But I think this year I'm going to try to get back to my roots a little bit and put some more flatheads in the boat. Yeah.
See, that's kind of what we've been talking about trying to do. Now, my roots with catfishing, in a way, really aren't that good, because it was either running trot lines, running jugs, or snagging. That was my introduction to huge catfish, was snagging. And been a very long time since we've done it. We don't do that anymore. But the one thing I will say, it taught us where the big ones are. Because the thing is, with snagging, they have to be there.
Yeah.
You can't attract them. They've got to be right there. Now, you don't have to bite, but you better know where they are. Right. At least that taught us consistently where those big fish like to hang out. And like I said, I know people don't like that, and I don't do it anymore, but I caught some monster yellow cat snagging. And always in the same.
I can only imagine the kind of fight that is.
Our biggest was a 55, and we hooked it in the tail.
I can't imagine. My biggest is
it was rough.
I don't know if y'all know. I don't know if y'all noticed. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but we started talking flathead, and we done rattled Mark Catfish and Crappie in here. Someone talking flatheads, and he showed up.
in fact, on when he did. I forget what we were doing. It might have been that one-on-one I did against Ryan Bortz. When my boat swung around at the hydro and Mark saw that massive log pile, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm salivating."
Yeah.
Where do you think we used to throw those snagging hooks at?
You could see his eyes just went boom.
Well, he couldn't, and what that is, that's logs that they pull out of one side of the structure and that's where they throw them at. They throw them on the downstream side. They just pile them up right there. That log jam is probably, I don't know, 40 foot thick down in the water. But that's where we used to hook them at. I'm just trying to figure out my best way to throw a baited hook right there and not lose everything I've got.
Hey guys, I'm gonna change gears here real quick. Seen this message from Paula. It says that she didn't get COVID-19 test result, but not what she expected. If we could pray for her, Paula, 100%, girl, you support and love every one of us. So don't know what's going on, but hoping for the best for you. If you need somebody to talk to, you got my number. Give me a call.
Absolutely.
And, if nothing else, I'll talk your ear off. You forget all about whatever the hell's wrong with you, because as soon as you talk catfish with Paula.
Yep.
I think there's a few of us up here that could do that for you, Paula. I don't think any of the three of us have a problem talking at all.
No.
So.
No.
Yeah.
Not us.
Yep. So yeah, that prayer's going out for Paula. I'll just leave it at that. But I hope everything's okay. Turns out okay for you. If you need anything, let me know. Do whatever I can for you. Oh no. Betty Jean just said, I've just accepted the fact that you're wrong. It's okay. As we're talking flathead. And I'll be honest, I say shovelhead on occasion. It's like it depends on who I'm talking to or where I'm at, where if it comes out or not.
Every time I hear somebody say shovelhead, I think of a spoonbill. That's that's me. I don't know.
JP3, thank you for that, brother. Taking another time to talk to you. I try to, man. If anybody's got questions, we go through something here in chat, and you didn't get it, or maybe you just wasn't comfortable asking the question in front of everybody, or maybe you didn't feel comfortable, or you didn't want to sound silly or whatever. Shoot us a message, man. If it's Creel, if it's Stan, if it's me, man, we love talking about fishing. And man, nothing. I'm telling you, nothing makes me feel better than hearing somebody say, man, I tried what you said, or I tried what you did, or whatever, and it worked, man. Dude, check this out. I caught this fish, or man, we had a good time doing this or that. Nothing makes I could speak for both of you, because I know you well enough, but nothing makes us feel better and makes us happier than knowing that something we said or did helped somebody in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's just put a smile on your face because you're having a shitty day, whether it's a technique or something that we're doing that you hadn't seen before, a rig that you scratched your head about, like, why in the world? No matter what it is, it's what helps us drive forward.
Yeah,
because it takes some commitment. Stan, hey, every Sunday, right? Be there every Sunday. It's a commitment, and it takes. Just like me being here on Tuesday night, that takes some commitment. Now, I know I canceled last week, and I won't go into details, but this house has got a lot of crazy stuff going on in it right now. And last week I just couldn't do it. I couldn't make it. But it does. It takes a lot to make the commitment to be there and be consistent. So, oh, look at that, man. Becca, thank you so much. Becca put her little prayer out there for her, and it went by faster than I could see it. I'm trying to read it on my other screen. I have two screens going so I can keep up. My phone is what I got here. I only see 4 comments at a time.
Yeah, I can't do 2 things at once.
No.
I can barely do.
Well, I missed it, but I found Betty's comment that says, I've never heard the F word until I found Catfish Weekly. I was severely confused. I thought there was a catfish I was completely unaware of. She heard flathead.
Well, how y'all think I felt?
Yeah.
Y'all say all kinds of stuff I ain't never heard before. Of course, I think
Wait, no. You say shit that ain't nobody heard before.
Well, I think that's why I got along so good with Creel, because I knew what he was talking about. So
one of the few. Stan was one that from day one knew what I was talking about, and he did a good job of explaining to everybody. Like, wait, hang on, let me back y'all up a second. Y'all don't know the half of it. Trust me.
Especially with the Sac-A-Lait and
No, it's the
Paula
first time.
says, Paula says thank you to Mud Tramp for that.
well, yeah, the bone piece. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh, here we
Bone
go.
piece. That seems to be one that sticks.
I love it.
Paula asked that I read this out, so I will. I just love all of you, and it means the world to me. I'm sticking around long enough to catch the triple digit, God willing. That's right. She wants that hundo.
She's not far from it.
She'll get it.
She ain't far from it. She
has whooped many folks looking for those big numbers. She'll get it.
But she's in the 80s right now, right? 80.
Yeah, that one fish, 88.
82.
But man, she's caught so many fish. Heck, like the week before that, she had an 82. It didn't get much notice, but when that 88 hit, it was lights, camera, action.
Mm-hmm.
Paparazzi rolled out for that bad boy.
Better believe it.
But I know Paula personally, and I know that she loves that 88, but she doesn't like the fact she doesn't want it to define her. She is so much bigger than a 188-pound fish. That girl catches fish all the time, big fish, and ain't got nothing to do with being a woman, being a man, but she can fish.
That fish don't know the difference. that fish don't care who's on the other end of that pole. It's gonna try to yank you in the water all the same. It does not care. Don't care how much fun you got. Don't care about anything.
If I had to pick, 5 people to go fishing with, and I can retire on a tournament, she would want to be one of my 5 people I'd pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got that much faith in her. She does the work, and she's got the passion. So try to keep up right here with chat. But sorry, Paula, we didn't want to just keep throwing you on the spotlight there. I know you're not feeling well, so we'll leave you alone. Hey guys, it's 9:30 already.
Wow.
Holy smoke. We still got 50 people in chat. Man, I just hate to give up when I got 50 people still hanging out and talking catfish. I really did.
You got to be careful. That's how my 13-hour overnight stream happened.
Oh.
Just had people coming in, and
just don't want to.
People would leave, more would come in. It was just crazy.
Yeah, but you got to leave them wanting more. You know,
that's true. That's true. More. I'm still learning. I'm still learning the business here.
You got to say, hey, tune in next week.
Yeah.
We don't know for what, but tune in.
Yeah.
Can't tell you
what. I've got some great guests that have agreed to come on to the show. Man, we are having a hard time getting work schedules to line out. I actually had Mark, Fish Magician, was wanting to come on. His work schedule doesn't allow him to be here on Tuesday night, so we've been talking back and forth. I've got a couple other folks that have given me the green light, but we're just working on details. I won't put names out there in case things change. I don't want to put that on them, but
leave everybody in suspense.
What's that?
You gotta leave everybody in suspense. You got to do
leave
that.
Them in suspense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still learning that. I'm still learning that part of it. I'm an open book, so it's kind of hard to get that. Kind of hard to close the chapters a little. You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't know if he's still here, but I wanted to share this with you guys real quick. Zach Murray, a couple weeks ago, gave me a pair of these gloves, and he had picked them up and got himself a pair, and got me a pair. I think he got Skip a pair too. And these are called Kinko Hydro
Reflector.
These are completely rubber on the outside. They got grip, and they are fuzzy. these gloves are awesome for being out on the boat in this cold water. Your hands stay completely dry, and they're warm. So, you know, we've been talking about wintertime fishing and ways to keep yourself comfortable and these dudes keep your hands dry and they keep them warm. And Zach, I truly appreciate them. You know, I don't know how much they cost. I think they're around $8 to $9 a pair. But if you guys see it right there, Kinko Hydro Flector, the number there, 1784P. I don't know if that's important or not, but if you're looking for a pair of gloves that'll keep your hands completely dry and warm, those bad boys there have done do they make a small? I'm not sure, Betty. You may have to just Google it and find out what you can find on them. Zach Murray said Royal King $9.99. There you are.
That's not bad.
No, I paid a
Wow.
lot more for gloves. I paid a lot more for gloves that I didn't like. I've been wearing these ever since he gave them to me, and so anytime I find something that I think works, and especially as a good buy, I want to pass it on because you know, maybe somebody else, because that's how I am. I want something that somebody else already tried. I hate being a guinea pig.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't need those, right, Roger?
No.
Dude, I'll laugh. Apparently, and this is for everybody else watching the show, and Roger's gonna laugh. Apparently, I'm not allowed to complain that it's cold in this guy's presence, because I had the nerve to complain that it was 34 degrees, and about 2 lines down, Roger's like, "Dude, stop it." Like, killing me. And I could just hear him say it in his voice, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I need to stop. Yeah, because
yeah. And then I seen you guys out there in jeans and hoodies, and just enjoying yourselves. I'm like, man, I look like the kid from the Christmas Story today. All right, I was all bundled up. 34 degrees is perfect.
Well, I can tell you a story. I went down there. Oh gosh, probably 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And I came down from upstate New York, where we left. It was like 10 degrees. We had 1.5 feet of snow. It was the middle of a blizzard when we were leaving. We had to drive down to Louisiana. Unfortunately, it was when my grandfather was passing away, and happened to be in February. But anyways, we get down there, and we went from 10 degrees to 50 degrees. I'm busting out the shorts, the t-shirt. They're fighting. We get down to my cousin's house. They're fighting over the space heater because it hit 50 something. There was an all-on fight for room around the space heater because that's how cold they were. It was 50 something degrees in February. So that'll just tell you a little bit about that.
I'm telling you, a few years back, it snowed. Well, I say snowed. It slushed 3 inches around here, and dude, they shut the whole parish down. They declared a state of emergency.
All right, a parish is a county. It's a county, and the rest of the
county. We say weird things. That's just.
Try to keep up with the chat here. We're down to 47. That don't make it any easier.
I ran 3 people off.
You ran 3 people off? No, I seen that somebody Mark's got to go. You need to run out. Have a wonderful night. Great show, Rod. Thank you, Mark, Catfish and Crappie, for all you do. Multi-award winning angler. Blessed us with your presence today. We can only be so grateful.
Mark is awesome.
He is. If you don't know him on a personal level, shame on you.
No.
He's super duper.
Oh yeah.
Oh look, Elstan just showed up. Chucky Catfishing is in the house.
Hey,
what's
I'm
up,
talking
my
about.
man? Now the party just started.
That's right. It's not a show till Elston shows up. So
That's right. we gotta get the strobe lights. I need some glow stick thingies.
The king of bling.
Bling. I did get notified from Palmetto today that they're waiting on some of the prizes to come in from Catfish Clothing for the Golden Whisker Award. So I got my bling on the way. Can't wait. Super excited. Super excited.
Award winner in our presence. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I did win, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Well, actually, your boat won.
My boat won.
You didn't win.
Nobody voted for me. Everybody voted for the boat. They can just leave me on the bank.
Hey.
Everybody wants to leave me on the bank. They just take the boat.
That's what we got to say. Hey, you want the boat? I'll come with it. Just, hey.
That's how it goes. I tell everybody, if you're close.
Well, I got to say, I'm lucky enough to be up on the screen with 2 people that I nominated for multiple awards. So,
somebody standing behind me.
Oh man!
Anybody was behind me that I didn't see.
Let's say, I hope Dee got my size shirt for her prize. Dee won Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, and you all know that is the most important role of all.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forget it. It's all about the muskrat. That's right.
It's all about it.
And there's Chunky, just like he says, comes into this. He says it's hard coming in and saying some things sometimes because it's 22 minutes of saying hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing. I like to just try to say hello to everyone. But then when somebody says hello to me, I'm like, hey, they said hi to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Me too.
Shit, now I got to say hi to everyone because I want them to feel the same way I felt.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, it wasn't that long ago. I was very new to this, just jumping in the chat. And I remember I would see all these big names. Everybody was a big name to me, especially back then. And I used to get so excited when somebody would tell me hi. Like, so it's like, no, come on now.
Yeah. It is. It does take up a lot of screen space and a lot of time.
Yep.
And then you always worry, did you miss somebody? Did you skip somebody? Do they think that you did it on purpose? Daggone it. Now I'm scrolling like a son of a gun. I'm like, daggone.
If somebody says hi to you like 15 lines later, and he's like, okay, is he responding when I said it? Told him hi? So you end up telling him hi again because you don't know if he saw it or not. Oh, yeah.
I just did that today.
I can't be.
Hey, I just say hi, Mike, and that's like 8 or 9 guys right there. Boom.
That's
Done.
cheating.
But if we all go back, I don't know if anybody. It's relatively new for me and Creel. I was the same way. Like when you first come in, how many new people are now part of our family just because somebody took the time to say hello to them?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Zach says it right there. We like to be acknowledged, and that's a very true statement. Everyone does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Becky says hi, Roger. Hi, Roger. I think she liked. No, it was. Stan, was it your wife in there today that was talking about? She wanted to hear my fish stories about what the fish see when they come see Roger.
Oh, yeah.
The experience a fish goes through when they come in and they come in from. Yeah.
Is it Jeff Foxworthy that does that really good funny bit on that?
Yeah, where he says it's not yet your time and all that.
I have it. I need to put that out one day. I have that on a video that I never put out because we skunked that day. But I repeated that joke to my uncle in the book, and he's literally choking to death laughing, but he can't stop laughing to breathe. I thought I was going to kill him. I love that bit.
Came in and stayed because I was made to feel very welcome.
Yeah.
Becca gets a warm welcome everywhere she goes. She's just that's
I
that
believe it.
warm, just that warm, fuzzy sunshine glowing down upon us.
I can specifically
That's
remember
confusing.
saying hello to her. I specifically remember saying hello to her on the first night she came into our, our main 8 o'clock show type deals.
God, is that you wearing a flannel? Yeah. It's been a while since I heard it. That's where I got it. I said it. I probably jacked it up and cut it up pretty bad today. My version, but I meant well. Everyone likes to be acknowledged. It's a great and friendly gesture. Tim Molina. Absolutely, brother. Muskrat, show me your double peg float rig again, please. Double peg float rig. This was just one that was laying here, for example.
All right.
So double float rig starts with a swivel. I usually tie a 3-way on all my rigs at the top if I got extras, just in case I decide to rig it differently. I can run it just a regular swivel, or I can use the 3-way if I decide. Chain swivel, because I like chain swivels and current. Down to a bead, swivels, beads, 1 float, 2 floats, extra buoyancy, more beads, more rattles, more beads, and a hook. TK 9/0 circle hook. All right, this is what I run a lot. I would find myself putting a gap between the hook and these rattles just to keep them away from my hook. I didn't like them being down there, possibly interfering with the hook set. Hence the other rig, which is the hook piece of, this is just aquarium tubing. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then a couple rattles there. I normally would put a bead in between those two. I don't know what happened on this one, but
Okay.
so that's what those look like. Chucky, if you got any questions, buddy, just hit me up on Messenger and we can chat. I also got some new grippers came in the mail today. Got to be honest with you. These are the Betts Billy Bay grips. They seem very well made. They had high reviews. I got them today, and of course, what in the picture and what you get in reality are two different things. I am not so sure about the gap I'm getting in this grip right here. To go through a fish's jaw, and this is all the bigger jaw this clamp is going to allow. Now, that being said, kind of segues to another topic. I actually don't use grips on fish over 20 pounds, probably 15 pounds, because I have witnessed, whether it is truly from grips one way, shape, or another, but when you take a 20, 30, 40-pound fish and you put their entire weight right here in this little small piece right here, that's I don't know. I've seen a lot of fish with broken jaws right there, right dead center. And I don't know for a fact that it's these, but I know that it can't help. And so I generally do not use grips over 20 pounds. I will use my gloves, and yes, I use gloves. I fish a lot. If I didn't ever wear gloves, I wouldn't have any skin left on my hands.
Yep.
I mean, I just wouldn't. Yeah, I seen these grips, and I'll be honest with you, they were pretty good rating. They were orange and green. They matched my Muskrat logos and everything else, my stickers. They look cool on the boat. And when I got them today, they showed up in the mail. I thought, well, that's an awfully small opening. I wonder how well that's going to work. So I'll do a review on them once I use them, because as of right now, they don't smell like fish at all.
Well, that's not a bad problem to have, is that your grips aren't big enough for the fish you're catching.
That's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to look at it. Question, Mr. Gadget. Anyone here ever use the Carolina keepers to keep the rattles and floats? Have had great luck with them. I I'll be honest, I'm not even sure I know what a Carolina keeper is.
Nope.
So the answer to that question is no, I haven't used a Carolina keeper. I'm interested to know what they are and possibly be interested in using them.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Gadget, if you could fill us in a little bit.
I think it's a type of bobber stop that you can use in place of a swivel for Carolina rigs. So the sinker will come down instead of using tying on the separate swivel.
Yeah.
I believe that Carolina that he's talking about, it replaces the swivel, so it's like basically a sinker stop. Then in that case,
duty bobber stop, something like that, maybe.
Heavy duty bobber stop. Yep, that's what I believe he's.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, I can't pass this one up. I tried to say it like a cheer.
Is it weird that I read that as a cheer in her?
I did the same thing in the head. I could do it.
Okay, so it's not just
here to here though. No, it's
okay.
That is exactly why I didn't read it out loud, because I couldn't do it without doing it as a cheer.
Okay. Okay. Well, so I'm maybe not losing my mind after all. Okay. Good to know.
D says, talking about walking out of Hobby Lobby with a bunch of beads.
Hey. Now, I tell you a little tip for everybody who really wants to save some money. Instead of using beads, I'll use let's say a bead behind my sinker slide, jam up against my my knots on my swivels. And this is actually courtesy of Mr. Stacy Gaston. Go to the auto parts store, get some vacuum line, tubing with the smallest hole you can find. You cut it into pieces about 1 inch long. I mean, you can get 6 foot of vacuum tubing for like $2.
Here's the problem with that theory.
And use that for a stop instead of a bead. It's a lot cheaper.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's Gaston. That's where I got that from. Smackdown Catfishing.
Yep. I got crap all over the place here. This is like a catch-all here. This is how bad I am. Now, I use the plastic beads because in between the rattles, I want plastic so that
they'll
spin.
Yeah,
that rubber hose would actually slow that down. I've actually taken the kids' plastic necklaces and bracelets that they've been leaving laying around the house and cutting them and stealing their beads one by one.
Hey, we fixing to have Mardi Gras around here. You want me to hook you up?
Yeah, there you go. Do I got to show my boobies?
You know the price. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll leave you with this. I'm strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
Oh my goodness.
We are in the weeds now. We are in the
gosh.
They sell beads at the dollar store. That's right.
And Mr. Gadget answered that question on what was up above that. Yeah, it's just like a bobber stop but larger.
Yeah.
Works better on the 50, 60, and 80 pound leaders.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Cool.
So
that's what I use.
Carolina stop.
Chad, fancy beads, fancy fish catching, fancy talk show. Chad, hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. He knows the struggle. He does the live stuff. He goes out, fishes live. He knows a little bit more about me personally than some other folks do. But so Chad, thank you for that. I love you, brother. Let's see. Fishing $4 for 50, craft beads $10. There you go.
1,000.
Yeah.
Put fishing anything, the price goes up. You know that.
Yeah, take it from one package.
Fancy? What's that?
I say you take it from one package, put it in another one, write fishing on the label. Price just tripled.
Okay.
What do you think happens? What do you think happens to these hooks?
Yeah.
They buy them in bulk. They bring them over here. They take them out of giant bags and put them in little bags and take their pliers and twist them and bend them, contort them all up for you.
Yeah.
I'll get off that soapbox. I've already went down that road.
True though. It's true.
Huh?
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yep. And for the folk, and I do that. Grippers on your lip.
Oh,
I'm not putting those
it-
grippers on my
they
lip.
put the grippers on your lip.
Oh no! Oh my God!
And we talk about that stuff because for the folks that are hardcore, we want to know if there's products out there that are a little deceptive or maybe not quite the quality standard that we're expecting. Now, I'm not telling you to abandon your trusty hooks or switch companies or do whatever. I just share what I find, what I see, and everyone else makes their own decisions after that. What I mean? I saw what I saw, and then I've seen other people say and do things with these hooks, and I've made up my mind on what is good enough to make it in my vessel and what is not.
Yeah, just because it costs more money does not mean it's better, and
That's
just
fact,
because
Jack.
it's cheaper doesn't mean it's worse.
Right.
Sometimes that don't mean a thing.
Yep.
The hooks I used to use cost double of the hooks, the brand hooks I like to use now, and they work just as good, if not better. So if it's half the price and for the same thing, there's no argument there.
You're not gonna hear me argue.
No.
These guys now JP3 is trying to get Janice involved. She wants Janice to grip my lip with the grippers.
Why does it always turn into that? I remember the whole water thing that time.
Because it worked one time.
Yeah.
One time it worked.
You were doing that boat tour, and they egged her into getting the water out there on you. And
yeah, man. So, hey guys, I have had a blast. Thank you guys both for coming in and hanging out. If you guys want to know what it'd be like to come fishing, it's just like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except
this is what it is. I mean, there's no fluff in here. What you see is what you get. But guys, thank you both for coming in and sharing your evening with us. Guys, we still got 40 some people in chat. Wow. And 41 in chat. So guys, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up on your way out. We're going to go ahead and call it a night, shut it down. Both of my devices are about to die. The batteries I got warnings popping up because I came in hot tonight. I didn't really take time to put all the chargers and get everything in. So thank everyone for stopping in and hanging out with us for a little bit. Hopefully you got to take something away. If not, maybe put a smile on your face and lighten your evening up a little bit. So thank you guys for being here. I get back out on the water this week. I'll probably go live again. See if we can't get some more fish in the boat. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Until next time, stay safe, tight lines. See you.
Yeah, later.
I think I hit end.